I wonder if the Earth is flat, or whether we've gone to the moon, whether or not the conspiracies about the Twin Towers are true, or who killed JFK. I don't know what's going on in the world anymore, but what I do know, I've got some watches here. They're commemorating the Apollo 17 and the Blue Marble from 1972. And coming in at 36mm, semi-dressy casual style watch. They're quite playful and fun, and you guys are asking me, can you get some quartz watches, some more inexpensive watches on the channel? Well, here they are. I've got them here for you guys. I'm going to share my thoughts on them. Let's flip the camera and let's dive in. Now this is HZ Watch's third watch. I did review their first one. I thought it was quite a good grab and go, beautiful daily. This one here, grade 5 titanium, as I mentioned, 36mm, a really nice petite footprint, and coming in at 349 Australian dollars or 239 USD for the enamel version, and 399 Aussie dollars or 279 USD respectively for the Aventurine. I think they're a pretty decent deal. As I said, they're fun, they're playful, not too expensive, but really nicely built, and I'll share some macro footage and close-ups and how I've experienced these watches and what I find could offer room for improvement, albeit they're not that expensive to start off with. Now HZ Watches has sponsored this video, so I'll leave the links in the description section, and these watches are pretty much about to drop, so I thought I'd rush a video out for you guys. Their website says that they're basically the 10th of November here in Australia, 9 AM. So that's Monday here for us Aussies. Obviously around the world, on their website it shows New York, Los Angeles, London, the different time zones when it's dropping. And the reason I say this to you guys is because there's no pre-order window, there's no waiting. They're going to drop them, they're ready to go, but there is a limited amount for the first drop. So if you guys are keen on this, get in on the first run. The second run, you basically got to get emailed when the second batch comes through. But moving on, checking out the dimensions of this watch, I measure a case diameter of 36 with a case height of 11.7. The lug to lug is 43.7 and a lug width of 20. That crown is a 5.9mm signed push-pull crown. The watches offer 100 meters of water resistance, and the total weight on the leather strap, I measure exactly 42 grams. Now on the wrist, these watches have been a classic petite experience. Coming in at 36mm, a really nice footprint as a dress watch, and even that height at 11.7 to the top of that double dome sapphire crystal has been an easy experience to wear and can pretty much slip under any cuff. Now the leather straps that come on these watches seem to be of a decent quality. There's a nice taper from 20 down to 16 at that tang buckle, and I think for a dress style watch, appropriately using leather is pretty much the right decision here. Now if I turn the watch over, you'll notice there's a solid case back with HZ's emblem on it, nice detail, and hiding behind that case back is a Seiko VD78 quartz movement. It's got around 3 years of battery life, and using that movement allows for a 6 o'clock subdial to have the running seconds, but in this case we've got a running earth that goes around click, click, click for something different, something a little bit more playful and unique. So in that department I think HZ Watches has done something nice according to the price, something playful and not to be taken too serious, but just to actually enjoy it. Now I did mention that the case is made out of grade 5 titanium, and the weight on this thing at what, 41 or 42 grams on that strap, it's negligible. I'm not usually a 36mm case diameter watch. I think it's a little bit small for my wrist. I usually wear 42 or 40mm watches. They sort of look better in my eyes, and again we're all unique, and whatever looks good in your eyes, go with that. But the experience on the wrist has been petite and pretty negligible as far as weight goes, and I must say the case finishing on that titanium grade 5 is actually very good. It's got a few polished sections, very subtle, mostly satin brushed, and you probably wouldn't know that this is titanium unless you actually felt it in the hand. So in that department, well done. Now all that said, no watches are perfect, and I want to share a couple of little niggles or gripes with this particular watch. Maybe they're niggles. First and foremost, there's a general gauge of time reading on this watch. You'll notice there's no minute markers. There's only 5-minute increments around that dial. So when that minute hand is in between the 5-minute increments, you generally guess what time it is. Honestly, not a real deal breaker because they are dressier style watches. We've seen a lot of watches that have even no markers around and they can get away with it. So with this, I'm happy to overlook that. Second gripe I do want to talk about though is that sapphire crystal. It's a double dome sapphire. They probably could have got away with a flat, but they've chosen double dome sapphire here, which slightly increases the height because the case is actually 9.9mm I've measured. with that sapphire crystal. It's 11.7. It's again not a deal breaker, but it is a little bit raised, which probably adds some character to the watch rather than your standard flat, but putting it out there for you guys so you can know. And probably the last observation that I did have with these watches that again I do want to share with you is legibility. And on the black or the aventurine, the darker dials, basically you can see that you're going to get reflections, and sometimes the handset does disappear on the darker dials, but just a slight twist of the wrist, it picks up the light and you can see it quite clearly. So just a quick video, I wanted to share my thoughts on this third release from HZ Watches. Fun, playful, not expensive by any means, considering the fact that it is grade 5 titanium, very decent finishing and design. And I think looking at this brand, they're basically trying to get as many watches on people's wrists as possible without breaking the bank. Something that you could probably gift to someone and say, here man, this is something for you, get into the hobby. And in that light, I think that's a really good thing. So hit me up in the comments guys, let me know what you think about these watches. They seem to be nicely finished and well built, mixing a little bit of class and a little bit of fun experience, and a relatively inexpensive one at that. So check out the description section. Like I mentioned, there is only a limited number in the first run. However, they're not a limited edition run. They will be doing more watches in due course, but you'll just have to receive an email when they arrive. Continue to enjoy this hobby and little goodies like this. You asked for more inexpensive watches, more quartz watches, well, I'm delivering. Hopefully these things are up to speed for many of you and satisfy. Look after yourselves and your families. Continue to do your homework when researching watches to buy, especially expensive ones. And we'll see you all in the next one.